guys. Welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast. Not on my own. That's good. There we go. There we are.
No.
We should have done runner.
Thought Gray was pulling my leg. He's like, I'll just put Trev on and we're going to the pub. That's fine. That's fine.
Just to give everybody a quickie, if you happen to be watching what's going on.
Oh, dear.
I ran into some serious technical problems with my camera. Tried everything. Nothing's working. So you're not going to be seeing my face. I know a lot of people will be cheering by now. Ooh, but in any case, but then that wasn't the end of it. Then as soon as we go into the stream, all of a sudden, I don't know if it was Riverside or what, but I wasn't doing anything I didn't do before. And all of a sudden it just goes, bah, and I'm like, oh my God. What else?
Oh,
we used to call it the gremlins, man. When I used to work in television and I ran the control room and everything had to go off when it's supposed to go off. And then everything just blew up and we went to black and people are calling the TV station going like, what happened? And we're going like gremlins.
Yep. That time of year.
That was my rant. Go ahead, take it from the top.
Yeah.
Wow. He's not happy. He's not happy, people. I to be fair, that little virus that you planted to Matt and his PC is worth a treat just for lols. Done, mate.
Yeah.
Great Grays on Noob. You see, you've got under your thing Great Grays on Noob, right? But you've spelled Grey wrong, so that makes you.
It's the American spelling.
Silly.
No, I didn't spell wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Matt.
Oh, great! There you go, guy. You got it now.
Anyway. Episode 251, Extreme Gaming Podcast, October the 24th. We're patched up a little bit for this episode, guys, so I'm not feeling 100%, hence why, well, I won't go into details, but yeah, I'm not feeling 100%. Gray's not feeling 100%, well, his PC's not feeling 100%. I was
feeling fine until my PC started screwing up.
Well, no, he's pissed. He's pissed off.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yes, that will not affect any of my viewpoints for the show.
Yeah.
No, they shouldn't do, to be fair.
Of course
I was going to have my camera off initially, but I decided to put it on so that poor Matt.
I forced him because mine doesn't work.
You don't want to see just my ugly mug.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, right. So if you haven't already, guys, please join our Discord, discord.gg/Extreme Gaming Podcast. Or just search for us on the Googles. And you get the AI overview thing at the top of Google search results now. So hopefully it says nice things about us. Anyway, the reason to join that Discord is we talk gaming there. We also talk a lot of crap a lot of the time. We waffle. We talk about science fiction. We talk about entertainment. There's loads of stuff there, but we're mostly gaming boys, I guess. So, and you can ask us questions. Anything gaming or PC tech related. If we don't know, we'll pass them all on to Matt. That's fair.
There you go.
The game we do. Actually, have you boys been doing this? Have you been doing the gaming Twitch stream recently? Be honest.
Have what now?
They've been very quiet. They've been very. That says it all. So normally we do a weekly gaming stream on Twitch on the Wednesdays, but you've got a very good excuse that I do not physically have a PC to do it on at the moment. So it's on the boys.
Gray's dog has been busy playing on the computer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That must have been it. Not the virus, it was the
dog. We hope to. I'm in between flats at the moment, so once I'm up in a place properly next month, we should be able to do that on a more regular basis, because there's some games I want to play with you guys. There's that survival game, Matt, that you were talking about, was it last week or the week before, that looked a bit like Stranded Deep, but it's out now in early access and it's actually pretty cheap. I was going to download that, so that's one game we could play. It's EGX tomorrow, guys, if you're watching live just now. If you're listening in the future, then it was in the past, and it was absolutely amazing, wasn't it, Matt?
Oh, yes, yeah. All the freebies, free drinks.
Why do you think you're getting free drinks, man? We're getting nothing. We're lucky if we get
this time we're not getting anything, yeah. This time they charge us just to walk in.
This is
unfortunately.
I was going to show. Look.
Yay!
That was Scythe.
Yeah.
Drinks are on me. You realise what nationality I'm, mate, and how tight we're were very notorious.
Yeah, he hasn't got an illegal tender.
Yeah, that is true. That's technically true. Yeah, contrary to popular belief. So, listen, just I thought while I was here, we used to do this back in the day, actually, and I don't know how popular it still is. For those that still listen on Apple Podcasts, I do. That's my listening. That's the one I listen to the most. You can do it Spotify, YouTube, and whatnot. If you do listen on Apple Podcasts, there is a review system on there. If you go in and give us a nice cheeky review, you don't ask, you don't get. That'd be great. If we need to sacrifice Matt or Gray to try and get that 5 out of 5 stars, let us know. We can arrange it. Yeah. And I believe there is a heavy rumor going around that if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get 1 free Twitch sub every month.
Yeah,
there's a reason I've noted this down. Remember, I discussed this with you, Gray. We got an email through from our Extreme Gaming Podcast email address. The people that sub for the first time to anything really, they get 3 months free Discord Nitro, which is pretty cool. And for those that don't know, it just means you get better streaming quality, video, audio. You can share bigger files. You get to use like more little stickers, backgrounds, all the kind of good stuff. Gray and myself have got it on. Matt, do you have Nitro on? I don't remember.
I did the 3-month thing in my jobby, so it comes up now and then. So I smash it in and go, yeah.
You smash it in.
Smash it in.
I hope you bought a drink first. If you want some cheeky Nitro, and then you can come and use, you get 2 server boosts a month as well, which is really handy. You could boost our server. So, if you're bored, why not? Anyway, if you're watching live and you want to catch up with Matt and myself and Saif, and is Adam coming along? Can't remember.
I think he's coming on a Saturday.
Oh,
yeah. We may be short of staff, so
fair enough. Okay, Chance is coming along as well. He's been a legend, been a bit of a chauffeur, so he's coming along tomorrow as well. Come and say hi. We're on pretty much all the socials. It's pretty much Extreme Gaming Podcast everywhere, with the exception of X, Twitter. We're Extreme Podcast. I think we might be signing up in Threads as well. In fact, we are signed up in Threads, but we don't use it. So there we go.
Oh, good. Because I got to start posting more there.
Well, no. It's a blank account. It's like a carcass. Like it's sitting there. I reserved it. It's the best way to describe it, man. Carcass.
Oh no.
But we've got quite a lot to talk about. We might need to save some stuff. Now, this is unofficially the 250th special, although we're episode 251. I apologise. I left the guys in the lurch last week because I remembered that my mother got us both tickets to go and see a programme that Matt and I know well called Mrs. Brown's Boys, getting filmed live in Glasgow. And we almost never get in to see it, but we did actually. The oversubscribed on purpose, believe it or not. But we managed to get in, which is really, really good. Matt will know that show because it's an Irish show. Started over in RT in Ireland, and then it came over to the UK, and it's filmed not too far from where I stay. So, but the boys done a great job. Thank you for covering. And then hopefully we're back up and running. We will start with Mr. Gray. He has got things to discuss.
Things to discuss besides everything blowing up. Anyway, the first thing in game news is Spider-Man 2. Apparently it's coming out in January 2025, unless there's some kind of delay, which we hope there won't be. But that's the story as of right now. So it's not really that far away, a couple months or so. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of preview before or any kind of early access. I haven't read anything about that. But there is going to be a lot of things in the game. Apparently, you're going to have 14 new suits. I'm sitting there trying to imagine that now. You're Spider-Man. Do you really need 14 suits? I mean, I don't know.
Not even going to the multiverse.
That's it. Yeah, it's like, anyway. They're going to have New Game Plus. That's kind of cool for people that are really hardcore and find the adventure to be too easy for them.
Starfield.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimate levels. Okay, so that's a little something different. New symbiote suit style. So apparently, I guess Venom's making its way, sort of. Not quite.
Yeah, yes, apparently.
Time of day options. Okay, so you can choose to do your web slinging at night or in the snow or the whatever. Post-game achievements, action figure mode, and photo mode. What does that mean?
I never got photo mode great. That's literally when you can pause the game and literally take a picture from whatever angle you want.
Yeah, I've seen that. But what does
get
action figure mode mean?
Oh, you can
that might just be
your character.
I was going to say, does he turn into a doll or something? and you kind of just move him from there?
Yeah, it sounds like
a Spider-Man.
All right, that sounds interesting.
No.
Also, screen reader and audio descriptions. So that's all the different things that are going to be happening with it. Apparently, they said here that if you want to get the deluxe edition, you will get 5 skill points. I guess automatically without having to earn them, so to speak. So if you get the deluxe edition, you get 5. They come up with more ideas to buy the deluxe edition. So whether it's worth spending the extra $20, $30 to get 5 skill points, I don't know. They're also going to include some additional photo mode items. They're going to be taking pre-orders. If you do, then you get the Arachnite suit, the Shadow Spider suit, the Web Grabber suit, and some skill points. So if you're into all that kind of stuff and you want to spend the money, you can do that. Something I want to run by you guys that I thought was really interesting. Sometimes when I'm going through some of these articles, they have these polls, and so and we've done them before here and there, but this one seems kind of interesting. So this is almost 50,000 people polled, and the question was your favorite series of action adventure games, and they go through a list. There's a few things on the list, but I thought it was curious of how evenly split up this whole thing was. I thought somebody would be taking a large advantage, or whatever.
Yeah.
But let me just tell you, the top one apparently is Legend of Zelda with 16%. It's not a lot, but they are on top. And it looks like the second ones, there's like a 3-way tie for second. Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption, and The Witcher. After that, it just comes in with a few others. Something Else. I don't even know if I ever played Something Else. Have you heard of this?
Oh, that's the actual game name?
No, I'm only kidding.
Something Else.
On the TV Paul for that one. No, it's Something Else. I mean, everything else,
I guess. Pre-order.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have some others here. Batman Arkham, 7%. God of War, only 8%.
Yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn, only 5%. What else? Spider-Man, only 4%. Tomb Raider, only 4%. I find some of these a little surprising, but it is spread across the board. So, everybody has their favorites, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't expect that. But in any case.
Question for you boys. Have any of you ever played any of the Spider-Man games on console or PC?
Console? I think it was PlayStation 2. I think it was the original Spider-Man.
Back,
yeah, that was going way back.
What do you mean? What? Spider-Man 1 and only Spider-Man 2's come out like a year ago. How did you manage to play a Spider-Man game back in the PlayStation 2?
Because they would be number 1?
No, that came out. Spider-Man 1 came out about 6 years ago.
No. There was a Spider-Man game before that.
Yeah, maybe it was called something else, though.
Spider-Man?
Like Pubescent Spider-Man or something. I don't know. Like, anyway.
Yeah, there was definitely one Spider-Man.
I have not. I've got Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Miles Morales as part of the PlayStation system, and I've only played little bits of them. I need to get around to playing more of them. And when I get PS5 Pro in a couple of weeks, hopefully they look nice and shiny for that. But something that I read as well, Gray, when you're going over that article, is the Spider-Man game, more and more games from Sony are coming to PC quicker. Yeah. It was a common trend. Yeah, like this one's 15 months, but it used to be like 2 years or so, and then it was coming down a couple of months at a time. We're going to get to the stage where it's literally a year after. And I wonder what you guys make of this. Like, for me, why would Sony bring it out for the PlayStation and the PC at the same time? You're cannibalizing sales. You don't do that if you're a smart business. But I think like bringing out the games to PC a year after or so is pretty reasonable. And then we would probably buy them, wouldn't we? What about you, Gray?
I think if it's a year or less. If it's a year or more, I can't stand waiting that long. And they were waiting a long time for some games. What was it? The last one that came out, I think there was almost 2 years. Was that Ragnarok? Yeah. I think, or I'm not sure exactly, but it was almost a 2-year wait. And now that they're trying to get more on task to being like maybe a year, all right, I'd hate waiting, but I'll wait a year. But when it's 2 years, it's like that's just too much, man. You're already falling behind the curve, and stuff. Where you're forced to buy a PS5 or whatever.
Yeah, but then some of their sales I kind of get it. Some of Sony's sales will be cannibalized if they bring it out on both platforms at the same time. So while it's good for us, it's not good for them.
Right.
I'm devil's advocate. I guess I see both sides of it. I have both platforms, so I won't wait for the year. Like the same with GTA 6, I won't wait for probably a couple of years, actually. I'll probably go in straight away. What's Si's saying? Software makes more money than hardware, especially these days, mate. Yeah. PS games have a healthy income on PC. They do, but they're going to maybe risk jeopardizing that because the way they're treating PC players having to sign up with Sony accounts and whatnot. Just make your own launcher, Sony.
Yeah.
Like, what's another? I know people might not like that, but at least we know where we stand. If Sony go, right, we have their own launcher. You want to play our games in PC, you have to download it, and that comes with an account anyway. And you either say yes or no to that. Some people are going to say yes because they want to play some of these brilliant games, because Sony do make really good games, especially first-party story-driven games. So, but yeah, interesting. Just wanted to get your take on that one, boys. Was that your second thing, Gray, about gaming PCs in a weird place right now, or is that something else?
No, that's another story that I thought was interesting. This guy brought it up. He's more of a techie on the person that brought this or wrote this article. So I'm not going to get into all the high end tech stuff, but the gist of the article is that in the last couple of years, there's been so many problems in PCs that it's put people off in some respects. In other words, they've had problems with chips. They've had the Intel chip with the rusting through the board thing we always kid about. They have the the power consumption. We've had the heat issues. We've had a variety of other stuff, and even with the GPUs, the cost of the GPUs, or something else that might be going on with it or wrong with it, or people like Intel just dropping them all together, or AMD just decided they're not going to do high end, et cetera, et cetera. So there's been so much of this in the news that the person that wrote the article's opinion, and I want to get your guys' opinions too, is that what's going on? I mean, like why are we bothering messing with buying a PC that we want when we can't even get parts at work half the time? It said he was saying it's unprecedented for the last couple of years, last 2 years or so. That I
blame the miners.
You blame well. It's funny you said that, because I've heard that expression before, more than once. The other thing that they're saying that they're now coming out with on a lot of the newer chips and stuff that they're working on is they're obviously incorporating AI. So now they're incorporating AI into the processors. They're calling NPUs as opposed to CPUs. And these are supposed to help with all the problems and make things wonderful again. And I don't know. We haven't really seen it yet. So I think we're being shoehorned into having to accept AI whether we like it or not. And I think that's with a lot of things that we're watching these days. It's the same story. They're all getting into it. They all don't want to stay behind. They're all, wanting to go on with AI no matter what. So, that there's nothing else you can do. So I kind of agree to that. I guess it's something you feel like it's getting shoved down your throat, but then again, you see things that are really great by it. And then again, you see some really terrible things that are going on with it. It's, what it is? I think when there's a new innovation, generally speaking, it doesn't come on this fast. But AI has come on so fast and so exponential that it's like you're trying to cope with it, and it's just like flying by you. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
Like a fast car. What make was that car? It was oh, wait a minute. It's like you can't tell. Now, what was really interesting is at the end of this article, they also had a little poll, which I thought was cool. And the question was in relation to the article: do you care about AI performance in your gaming PC if it's not used for upscaling. So, if it's upscaling, that's all cool. But if it's
like
not
NPCs or something like,
yeah, if it's not used for upscaling, do you care whether it's used at all?
Well, why don't we discuss
NPC interactions?
Carry on.
And so the reaction was, yes, I need to run an LLM. Not even sure what that is while playing video games. 4.8%. Let's see how it goes. 13.9%. And no, I just want to play games. 81.4%.
And what about you two?
I agree. If it's upscaling is cool. I mean, it has done some really neat things with upscaling frame rates, things like that. So that I think is pretty cool because that's pretty useful. As far as the rest of it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would rather them really test out a really good innovation that AI could do other than upscaling that makes sense instead of just throwing it at us and then just kind of going along with whatever happens, which undoubtedly will be problems. So I would rather see a tried and true tested good thing, whatever that may be with AI before you just start throwing it willy nilly into everything. That's just.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'd say definitely take your time with it. If it's there to improve things, make a bit more interaction with the NPCs, change the interactions they have with speech, then I'd say, it'd be good to see that.
It's one of these ones you could get into a really long conversation and debate about, and I am, for the most part, with that 80-odd% where we just want to see games, but it's the same. I mean, AI, you could have this debate for so many subjects outside gaming. I guess we're mostly gaming focused, so we'll discuss that element, but its number one thing of upscaling is great, and that's what I'm most intrigued about. And you might expect me to just leave it at that, but I would be willing to see how far it could go. Just experimenting. For example, I can't remember maybe it was Sega, looking at how to use AI in-game. So we discussed this a while back, NPCs, to actually give them better backstories and to use the cloud to literally pull information down on the fly and react with you off the cuff on the fly, to make it seem like you're almost dealing with a person rather than an NPC. Things like that could be cool. Why don't we investigate them? I don't want people's jobs to go, but I think there's a happy medium of having your AI cake and eating it. So why not, guys? Why not? See how we go.
The problem is, like we said before, is that that AI is going to be there and it's going to be involved in games whether we want it to or not.
Yeah,
I don't think people out there are just going to go like, well, we're going to stop buying games because of what you're doing with AI. No, they won't. They'll still just buy the game. Unfortunately. So, and everything is money driven. We know this. So if they sit there and go like, well, if we do this AI thing, we can save 10%. Do it.
Yeah.
If we do this, we save 50%. Do it. I mean, from one side of the coin, it's technically or technological wise, it looks what they're doing is totally flipped out. Last week, I don't know if you saw, Trev, but we were Matt and I were talking about how this guy has taken AI and basically taken old games like GTA and just putting in live action, almost looking like live action figures perfectly. It's almost like the comparison would be to take the old characters in a GTA or any old game and then let them put the suit on and let them get I can't even speak now, mocapped. So if there was ever a thing where your character could be mocap, which is impossible, that's what this looked like. So these old characters are looking like really good, and the thing, and it was done in comparison to how games are made rather cheaply, like real cheaply. And it's something that you could even do yourself. I mean, I started looking more into this, and I think we'll talk about it more maybe on the next podcast. But I was looking at a couple different sources about this because I've been intrigued with it. And some of the stuff that I've been seeing, other than what Matt and I saw last week, is just getting it's getting really, really, really powerful and really good.
Yeah.
I think we all would be thrilled if you could take something really old, like let's say take an old Tomb Raider, like one of the first one or two.
I thought you were going to say yourself there for a moment, Grace. Sorry,
no, that would work too.
Can we use AI on you and upscale you, or like?
You know what's funny about
4K?
what you said though? What's so funny about what you said? There's a commercial. You probably don't see it over there, but it's for Jersey Mike's sub place, and Danny DeVito is like the dude that's doing all these commercials. So in one commercial, Danny DeVito has a mocap suit on, but he shows the mocap suit in the commercial, and he goes like, I could be anybody I want, but you still wouldn't believe la 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 about the subs or something. And then all of a sudden, you see him looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a horse.
I've seen this.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. And I don't know if you shared it. I think you shared it. Yeah.
It was so great. I'm looking at this thing. I'm going, wow, that's pretty cool. But if you could imagine these characters were real people in the old games, and they just put on a mocap suit, and all of a sudden, bam, they look as good as we do. Yeah. I can't believe what they did with GTA 6. It looked like a brand new game. I mean, literally. And everybody was moving the same way. It's not like, I have to worry about how to make this move or what. It's just everything has been mocapped in a sense in the game. Everything. From the buildings to the streets, to the signs, to the people, to the cars, everything. And I'm just going like, wow. And this is moving really quite fast, because when I was watching this video, they showed where the technology was only a year ago. Not even, right? And they showed how archaic it was. It was like the first things that they tried. So you had these like weird looking, I don't know what you call them. They were like claymation almost. These characters were walking around the streets and stuff like that. And that was the beginnings of it. And then a year later, it now looks like so unbelievable that in normal terms, it would have taken a couple of years to get there, or maybe more, maybe a decade. Who knows? And they did it in a year. And they said they're releasing a new version of this already, right? A new version of this software now, where it's going to be even better, all the way down to facial expressions, your eyes, which are really hard to do. Your eyes when you react with your eyes and different things you say. It's really crazy, and like I said, I'm talking about it now, but we'll talk about it more maybe next time.
There should be an AI corner somewhere in this podcast. There really should be.
We've been bringing it up a bunch because it's
we've put next to the mod corner.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
And then we'll have 2 corners left.
But there's going to be we're going to talk about this a lot more. You're going to see, because when people go to remaster games now, all they got to do is use this software, and they can remaster a game like in a flash, and it'll look way better, maybe even better than the new ones in some respects. So
cool. All right.
Anyway,
I'd be interested in following that through. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'll come up from time to time, like Grace says. It's not going away. So when something relevant pops up on it, we'll probably discuss it. Right. So the next thing got some I like to do the kind of hardware tech section. And the guys last week discussed this item from the guys over at Cyberbrace that we're kind of collabing with at the moment. Really, really interesting piece of kit. I wanted to just kind of quickly push it again today to see what was what. And we had the guys last week showed a quick little video of it as well.
Which I have it too.
I'm going to do. I've got it on my end as well, Mr. Gray. Yeah, well, I'm prepared. This guy's always prepared.
I have it at Riverside though, so.
Do you? Oh, right. Okay. Well, you better show it then, Gray, and we better shut up. Go for it.
Here we go.
Can't see it, Gray.
Gamers, PC builders, creators. We all know the frustration of GPU sag. That slow drooping that can damage your graphics card and motherboard and ruin the look of your rig. Introducing the Cyberbrace, the ultimate solution to keep your graphics card secure and your build looking flawless. But here's where it gets really exciting. The Cyberbrace features an LCD display that functions as a second screen. Plug it into your GPU and it transforms into a live feed of your performance stats, game data, or even your own custom graphics or animations. The Cyberbrace isn't just about function, it's about form too. Made in the UK from high-grade aluminum, it's designed to stand out and keep your GPU firmly in place. You can also customize the Cyberbrace with interchangeable magnetic faceplates for that extra personal touch. Stability, style, a second screen, and no GPU sag. Check it out now and elevate your rig. Launching soon on Kickstarter.com. Just search for Cyberbrace. That's CYBRBRACE to get notified on launch.
I'm loving it.
That was
excellent. We couldn't actually see anything on screen, Gray. So
did you see Matt?
I saw it.
Did you? How?
Yeah.
I saw it. He saw it, and I said, and it was on Twitch.
No, but we should see it on the Riverside as well.
Yeah, I saw it on there too.
Okay, it's a me problem then. Don't know
why.
You're using a Mac, that's why.
Yeah, was he? That's why. That explains a lot.
I'm really confused why I can't see it then.
Hey, I told you guys,
you're sharing your screen.
I was telling you guys off camera, it's the Gremlins, man. Everything is just getting weird today with all these bizarre mistakes. We just roll with it. Anyway, you were going to say about Cyberbrace?
Yeah. So, as the guys discussed last week, interesting concept because it's kind of crossing I'm not to say two problems. I guess they are problems with solutions. Two aspects, which is no one likes anything that's saggy. Am I right, Gray?
Yeah, that's true. I noticed you went right to me on that one.
Nothing to do with it at all. It's just coincidence. And Gray would use a side brace as well if we could. But yeah, for the last several years, I've used something to support the GPU because they're turning into bricks. They're turning into massive, heavy devices that over time, maybe not immediately, over the course of years, can start sagging a little bit. And while it probably won't do any significant hardcore damage, if you want to sell a component on a motherboard or the GPU later on and you get a little bit of sag there, it takes away the value of it a little bit. So it's obviously got that built in first and foremost, but also a little display on the side because that is potential real estate space that's never used. Unless you get one of these ultra fancy partner GPUs from Kingpin or something, it's got things built, a display built onto the side of it, and that just starts costing silly money. This is actually very reasonably priced, and I'm very tempted to pick something like this up myself. It's just a case of literally plugging in the display, configuring it for the stats that you want, and you can kill two birds with one stone. It's if you just literally look up Cyberbrace on Kickstarter, CYBR Brace on Kickstarter, you'll see this product and you'll get early bird pricing. You've got all the stats and specs on the item on there as well. And I've got a funny feeling more things like this will be coming down the line if this one kicks off really well because the folks over there, I've got a keen eye for things like this. So, and I believe Gray and or Matt are interested in this device as well. So, maybe we'll get one of us or two of us or all three of us will buy it and let you know how we got on with it. We'll probably push that a little bit more as well because it's an item I do like the look of. Moving on, I haven't talked much about this recently. Possibly because I got a bit fatigued about the whole thing, and that's the latest CPUs. I haven't discussed them as much, and we have the latest generation of the CPUs coming out. We've got Intel's new chip coming out. We've got, or chip, should I say, we've also got AMD's latest CPUs coming out with their latest shiny 3DX variant coming out, I want to say soon. But anyway, the Intel chips are really confusing me now because they've changed the naming scheme of it again. I don't see why with all the muck-ups and problems they've had recently. They think they can change the name of it and no one will remember who they are, the problems they had in the past, boys. But we remember. Especially smoke starts coming out the side of Gray's PC. I'm joking. I hope that doesn't happen. The new Intel chip, right? Wait for this, boys. I'm not making this up. It's called the Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. Why? Why not call it the 15900K?
Yeah.
That's the next one in the list.
Yeah.
15900 was already bad enough because I had to put it into 2 bloody syllables. But I mean, why do you keep changing these things?
Well, they just went with simple names like they were doing before. Sky Lake, or maybe they can call it Beefcake.
Well, they do. Let's not talk about my nicknames on stream, Gray. No, I don't. I really. Buttercup. You just be quiet over there, Irish.
I'm going to buy an Intel Buttercup.
Tiddly P. Yeah.
Tiddly P.
That's probably more accurate with things going on.
Yeah.
That was their actual naming schemes that they had before, when they had things like Skylake and all that. That's their internal coding names or nicknames that they use for things. But when they bring it out for the public, they do things like this. To be fair, the 14th gen was pretty much a readdress of architecture, right? And that was last year's gen. And that's when we started seeing the problems between 13 and 14th gen. What they're aiming for here now is to try and get kind of similar or slightly better performance compared to last year, but running on lower power, because those chips were toasty. And the plan is just to cut that power drain down so that you could push them a bit more and get more bang for your buck. They are going to run cooler than the 14th gen because they were hot mofos for sure. Now, one other thing that ties in with this that Gray brought to my attention, but to be fair, I knew about it for a while. I just wasn't sure. It was rumoured until just now, and that's hyperthreading is heavily rumoured. I can't 110% confirm if it's actually gone because the chips launched today, 24th, as of doing this podcast, that hyperthreading was going to be going. I think it probably will be once the testers out there get the chips in and test them thoroughly, they'll be able to tell. They've got their methodology of this, or method of madness was, it's no longer quite the same thing it used to be, hyperthreading. And for those, I know the people that tune into this probably for the most part will know what hyperthreading is, but for those that don't know what hyperthreading was, it was something Intel brought in years ago, and it was literally whatever instructions was coming into the CPU, they would come in, a couple of instructions could come in at the same time, rather than just one pipe of the instructions coming through really, really fast. They could literally queue up a couple at the same time and bring them through in parallel. I'm probably doing an awful job of actually trying to describe that.
Sounds good enough to me.
It was really, really efficient because you could do more than one thing at once. But I get what they're meaning, like now, but with the amount of cores you have on CPUs, kind of not the same point. They could use that overhead and put it into other things. Now, they're saying for their latest chip, this one that's just come out, the 285K, that they don't need it. They can still get really, really good performance. So, okay, but we'll see where we go. Now, there's other bells and whistles they're throwing in here as well. It's going to support Wi-Fi 7 by default. It's going to support Bluetooth 5.4. It's going to have something called Intel Thread Director. I've got a funny feeling that's going to be the equivalent and replacement for hyperthreading. They come up with these fancy titles, though, boys. Remember to try and pull the wool over your eyes. You've got to remember that.
Rebranding right there.
Rebrand, well, they're very good at that Intel. We've got Thunderbolt 5 now, which I believe is backwards compatible with USB-C because Intel owned the rights to Thunderbolt, and it's now it's open. It's an open source thing now. So, and the speeds at which they're running these chips are not as high. Now, that was the one thing, you know me, I was always about the speed boys. I was like, give me more power, more speed. I don't care how hot it bloody goes. I want the power. And you were getting last year's Intel chips running. They were toasty, but they were getting like you're pretty much 6 gig across the board of all. If you had really good cooling, you could run most, if not all, the cores at 6 gig. Now, this is the thing that kind of gets me, and again, until they start testing these things, we have to take them with a large pinch of salt. But the max GPU speed of these cores is only going to be 5.7. That's a bit less. You had at least one core last year that could run at 6. Now, again, you take it with a pinch of salt. Like, until they start testing these things, it probably won't make a massive deal of difference. Because it's running cooler, you could probably run all these chips at 5, or these cores at 5.7, and then with really good cooling and good AI, which is built into these chips as well, of course it is after a discussion AI before, you'll be able to push these things, all these cores up to, probably closer to 6 gig or beyond. There's many SKUs. I won't go into all of them because this will be like a whole CPU podcast, and we don't want that. But they've literally got 3, 4, 5 products on the cards, and we're mostly just talking about the top one because we're enthusiasts, because we're gamers. The top one's got 24 cores. You can maybe understand why they get rid of hyperthreading now if it's not going to be the same benefit that it once had. In fact, you know what I'm going to do actually, which would be a lot more useful? I'm just going to quickly share this with you boys because a picture's worth 1,000 words. So hopefully you can see that there. So the one at the top is the one we're looking at there. You've actually got better discrete graphics built into these things now. If you're a gamer worth his or her salt, you're not going to be running a discrete anyway. $589 for the top chip. Sounds about right. And then you're going all the way down to the Ultra 5. Now, this is the thing, that the 9 is the top spec. The Ultra 9 is always the top one. The Ultra 7s are more than sufficient for most of our needs. And then the Ultra 5. Yeah, multitasker, a bit of cheeky, a bit of gaming there, a bit of everything that I call that chip, Matt, with still some power under the hood. And for those that are just not doing much, you're just using a PC for surfing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, they've got the Ultra 5 range. And if you notice there, the 245KF, that means it doesn't have discrete graphics built into it, I believe. So you can see GPU cores, there's nothing there for that, but it's their cheapest chip. And that's going to go up against AMD's latest Ryzen chips as well. Now, their top chip is at the 9800 or 9850, but they'll be bringing out a 3DX. Now, their CPU clocks are rumoured to be a bit less this year as well. But because of this 3D cache thing that they've been using recently to great effect, like our colleague, our gaming chum from back in the day, Mr. Hans Magel from Hell, is an AMD guy, or at least he was. I don't know if he changed.
He was, yeah.
And he was raving about this chip. And this was the top gaming chip, despite not having the highest clock. So clocks aren't everything, despite what I've said in the past. It is an important aspect, but high clocks with all this 3D cache really helps because you can store a lot of your regular tasks that you do into memory and call upon these things quicker, which in theory makes your game quicker as well. So I really don't know what I'll do next year, boys, when I'm going to build another PC again, hopefully, because of the problems Intel have been having. But then I'm reluctant to go to AMD because I've always been an Intel guy. I'll stop sharing here. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do there. We'll need to really see. I believe, Ray, you're Intel now. Matt, what are you running?
I'm Intel. I started off as a AMD. Never liked it really from there. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But yeah, from there, I've always just gone Intel.
What chip are you running? Do you remember? What CPU you run?
Now I'm on the i9 1200 series. I think it is.
It'll be the 12900K probably.
That's the one.
If you're on the 9, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, not bad. The 12 was the last kind of good one because 13 and 14 were like almost.
Yeah. Whoa.
You done well. And Gray, what are you running again? You're on Intel. What did I recommend? The 13th gen one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which will probably do you for a couple more years, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was at Intel. I mean, I was at AMD before this. Like I think I've told people before, but and I had zero problems, and it ran real well. And then finally, it got old, and it was time to replace it. And then I decided, okay, I'll go back to Intel. I probably had 3 AMD rigs and several Intel, so I'm used to both of them really. I have an Intel Core i7 13700K.
Okay.
1600 cores. I mean, so yeah. I mean, I'm happy with it. Cores. Yeah, if I had that many, it would be great, wouldn't it?
Core out. That's another thing Intel do. They changed their board quite a lot, or the kind of the CPU,
the chip
design. Not the chip. That's what I'm trying to say. The actual design of the board, how the chip fits into the board. They changed that a lot, which means board manufacturers have to change. They change quite maybe every 2 or 3 years. AMD change it usually less than that, which is a point for AMD, to be fair. They're pretty good at that. Intel don't give a shit, really. They just change. There's an interesting comparison between the two here, right? See, if I'm looking at the 14900K from last year compared to this new Ultra 9 285K, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the point I was trying to make before. Last year, they're both 24 core, by the way, right? Last year it was 32 threads. Now this year it's only 24 because there's no hyper-threading. So you've got less threads. You could maybe argue, with more cores, does it matter? Last year you had a base of 3.2, max clock of 6. This year you have a base of 3.7, max of 5.7. That is 300 megahertz less, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really happy about that. Again, until they test these chips, I don't know. Both have got 36 megabytes of level 3 cache. That's the important stuff I was talking about before, about having stuff in memory. Last year had 32 megs of level 2. This year, 40 megs of level 2, so a little bit more. And despite it running a bit cooler, according to the stats I'm looking at the moment, they both top out at about 250 watts. It's just that the new Ultra 9 285K has got potential to run a bit less. So I'm kind of glad the chips are coming out a bit now, because what I may do is see how we got on with testing, and then I would probably wait until the Amazon sale next year. I think the first one they had was a prime sale on was it summer or something? So I might look then. Or I might just go, screw this, let's wait for the gen after that and actually build a PC 1 year from now, see what deals I can get on Black Friday and stuff. Go back a year even. But you know me, I usually need the latest and greatest. That's what I'm like. Otherwise I feel inferior.
That's why that PS5 Pro's coming.
Yeah.
That 100%, guys, 100% FOMO. Well, that's a very interesting. I don't know if we did you boys discuss that last week about the remaster of Horizon?
Yeah, Zero Dawn.
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's only an extra £10 or $10 to upgrade, but the boys at Digital Foundry have been over this.
Oh, have they?
Oh, is it? So it's not £10 then? It's usually like for like, Matt. I'll take
$10. It's £9 for us. Yeah.
Did you convert it, or is this from Sony?
No, this is from itself. I went on to Steam where I had the game, the original one, and it came down on there as at £9.
Oh,
so they're not going 10 across the board.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Good. I'll take. The reason being is the boys at Digital Foundry covered this, and it's the guys at Nixus that have done some stuff for Sony in the past, and it's worth it. We thought the game. Sony done this stay-at-home thing during COVID where they gave you a bunch of free games. One of them was Horizon Zero Dawn, and we thought there's no way that'll be included. They gave it to us for free, but it is, and you can pay the upgrade for that alone, and it is worth it. Watch this Digital Foundry video, boys. They've put a lot into that. It's actually work. I mean, what you discussed last week, Gray, was great. But I just had to kind of elevate in that, because after watching the video, it's more than even what you said. It's worth the money. And I only started playing that game, right? So when I get the PS5 Pro, I'm able to go in and really enjoy it. Now, the thing is, the guys were only covering that on a PS5. they weren't covering it in the PS5 Pro, so God knows it will look even better still.
Mm.
And I've obviously got what's the second one, Gray? Forbidden Shores or something. Forbidden West, yeah, and I've got the Burning Shores DLC as well. So, although they took that away from the PlayStation Game Pass,
there's also a Horizon VR version game out too, which
that's right.
I may be able to take advantage of if I ever start messing with my Quest.
No, you won't. You need a PSVR 2 for that. I'm afraid, my friend. It's locked to PlayStation.
I guess that one.
Well, you could have got a PSVR 2 and got the adapter to run it on your PC, and then you could have had the best of both worlds. But no, you got a really good deal. To be fair, in your Quest,
I got a really good deal. Yeah, so I can't knock out. You know.
So when I get my PS5 Pro, boys, I will be. I've got it pre-order November 7th, but I think it arrives on launch day. So it's a Thursday, so it'll probably be the week after. I'll probably discuss it with you guys. So yeah, anyway, let's enough about the tech corner here, otherwise we're going forever. We have got an intelligently named section called Matt Stuff.
Yes.
So Matt Stuff, take it away, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about.
As Paw Star Citizen, I have Matt Stuff right above it.
Yeah. So I've been spending quite a bit of time watching the the segments that Star Citizen have launched out and shown us on CitizenCon. And it's a lot. There's so much, and it goes on forever. I think the show the trailer was over an hour long, just for the little demo of the trailer.
That isn't the trailer. No way. I was going to share it, but it's too bloody long.
It is long. That one is an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah.
A trailer? Is that long?
It was a prologue of the beginning of the game, of the
this is the Squadron
campaign.
We're talking about Squadron 42, or are we talking about... Okay.
Squadron 42, that part of it. But yeah, I digress. Let's get back to where I was. So,
that's okay.
This show had the panels, presentations, loads of them going on, showcasing the future of Star Citizen and Squadron 42. And oh my God, it's awesome. So the first thing that we're talking about was Brave New Worlds, which one of the panels was. This one focused on the latest advancements in their new Star Engine. This is one thing I love about Chris Roberts and CGI is that they don't just use what's out there. They build the tech to create the game. So it is a bit of a huge thing there. So they highlighted the new features, improvements, and enhancements to the game's visuals, the performances, and what else they could add to it. Planetary substance. It's fantastic. Another thing they spoke about was the social universe. I'm just going to do a wee bit. Oh, okay. There we go.
So, show a little bit in the background.
Yeah. So they also talked about the social universe, about, being in Star Citizen. What does it mean for people? What do you get out of it? What can you put into it? What's happening there? So it's there to enhance the player's interaction, building a community. This includes updates on multiplayer modes as well. They got social hubs and tools for player collaborations as well from organizations that you get in the game.
Easy for you to say.
Tell me about it. They also delved into character customization. Dress to Kill, this one was called. And it reveals new clothing, armor, a mix of both. So at the point you could only choose one or the other. You couldn't mix and match. But now you will be able to on this. So you do have to take your time, work out what you want, whatever fits the game mode that you want to do. Are you dressed for it? Pretty much is that. They've added extra customizations to the character, adding more facial hair itself, I guess you call customization, colors, tattoos.
Tattoos.
Yeah. So they also have Beyond Pyro. So Pyro is going to be the new system that's coming out. which will be coming out soon. So they explore the new planetary systems, the environments, what's going to be happening with the initial Stanton system, their upcoming locations, unique biomes, fauna, and loads of challenges on the way of that. So now that Gray's, I'm going to do my own one here. Please bear with me.
It's like that, is it?
It is, yeah.
I was going to share it, Matt, but then I saw that the smaller of one of the things videos is over 4 hours long, and other one's over an hour long, and I was looking for just like a few minutes long bloody trailer, but I couldn't see one.
No, it is very long. I mean, somebody will probably shut it down, shorten it down and put it into the
miscellaneous Star Lancer family.
So they're coming out with new ships, loads of ships. These ones are massive. It's awesome. Before I get into that, though, as I said, the prologue demo was huge. It was long. It showed the storyline, and all of it is in-game playable. So what happens there is what you go through, including the cutscenes. It's absolutely fantastic. It shows the narratives, which they've changed quite a bit. It's sharper. It shows you the game's plot, what you can expect from the game. From there, apparently, there's 5,000 people came to the event, which I found quite amazing. It's a lot of people in Manchester. So we talked about that bit. So they did a release of a patch 3.24.2, which included a lot of bug fixes and a few extra bugs on top of that to deal with. They've changed a lot of balancing and highlights. They reworked the vehicle HUD system and the MFDs, multifunctional displays.
Isn't that cheap impression of wood that you get from like IKEA now?
Yeah, definitely no MDFs there, I tell you. Yeah, so it does look really sharp. I was in the game a couple of days ago to have a look, see what's going on. And they've changed my ship again. The internals of the ship has changed a bit. I couldn't open up my cockpit door, but I found out there's a button for that now. Lighting systems changed. And, of course, when I went up to the cockpit, everything totally different. It was orange. It's more information. It's easier to read. The radar HUD was absolutely loving it. They also added a compass to the hardware of your panel on the cockpit.
Compass in space?
You know, the gyro compass, yeah. Well, you need it for going onto planets, don't you?
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Okay.
Is it like north, south, east, west, up, down?
North, west, east, and all the degrees in numerals. So you can go to 180 degrees northwest, whatever you want to do. There you go, sort of thing. So it'll help, especially when you're as lost as I normally am. So on top of that, they also, I already mentioned this, the new character customizations, which I had to redo one of my characters, but you can save it and then reload that for the next patches that are coming through. So the development of Squadron 42, as we all know, is feature complete. It's nearing its release. It's speeding up. They're pretty much just polishing the whole thing, and it will be released as an episodic style. And going by the demo, I don't think it's surprising, to be honest. I'll get into that a bit more. They also looked at the MMO storyline. So, including with you, Gray, there, where you go into the universe and you're like, what the heck do I do? You know, I've got all this. I don't know what to do. There's nothing to do. There's loads to do. Yeah. There's loads to do. So right now, at the moment, it's just a sandbox. You go and you find things. You find things to do. Or people can help you. There's also online parts.
We can explore more?
Yeah, you could do that. There's going to be its own main story feature of the Star Citizen itself, including guilds as well. So that will help with guide new players and old players if they want, which will give them features, missions with rewards, including citizenship, which is the ultimate grand prize, because that'll give you free
Matt, if you drop your share screen, I'll put the trailer back up again. The Squadron 42.
Oh, you got it there? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to it again. Go ahead.
Ooh, shiny.
Very shiny.
Yeah, we're going to use this more often, guys, the screen share thing, because it's kind of cool in its emphasis for people that are watching live or people that do watch live.
Yeah.
Just be careful of copyright, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, this is fine. They said that you can share this.
You can,
the video, so it's all pretty good.
It's more about music. Yeah. See if you get like music tracks and stuff in the videos. If you don't get music tracks, you're fine, Matt. Yeah.
If anything's made by the major companies and put out there for this reason, you can share all you want.
Yeah, pretty much. This is what it is, yeah. So pretty much it's fine.
Matt, I had a question, though. Is Squadron 42 supposed to be a totally separate standalone game?
Kind of. At the beginning, it was supposed to be a preemptive of the Star Citizen part. So you'd have to do Squadron 42 first, and then through there, you get inherited a ship or something from your character from that main source, and then you're like a son or a child, somewhere down the line, part of that family. So then from there, it continues. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. But it is its own storyline, but it has all the lore and everything that has happened there will be a part of Star Citizen. So everything there, including aliens and everything, it'll all be part of each other.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Matt, I had maybe one or two questions and points I wanted to bring across, which were, first and foremost, are you still enjoying this, and how kind of often do you play it? Do you like dip in and out and whatnot?
Well, a couple of us are hitting a snag. Trubshaw's hitting a snag again. Unfortunately, I don't know what's happened with his side. But with mine, I was on it the other day because normally I would play, and I'll play forever, a long time, till I come up to some sort of bug.
I've seen you on late with that game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, here we go. But you got to work. Screw it. So, yeah. I do play, but I've ended up going on to the mission. I picked up one mercenary mission, and I needed ammo because it was a new update. So all your consumables you'll have to redo yourself. Everything else stays there. So I had to go off to a mission, get some ammo. So I was like, I'll go to one of these bunkers. It'll be pretty easy. I'll go there. They changed it. They changed it a bit. So you don't have just people down in the bunkers like normal. They're all over this the area, pretty much on the surface, guarding, going around. You even got civvies there as well. Some good, some bad. So I was okay. I can deal with this. Tried to get my weapon out, and it wouldn't come out. I was like, okay, maybe I didn't bring it. Maybe I forgot it. Oh dear, I'm going to have to go around and smack them. Do a bit of melee. Let's do that. Problem.
If you can't get your weapon out, that's a real problem.
I know. You don't want that, especially when you're sober as well. So So I double checked my inventory. I went back to the ship and I was like, oh my God, I need to check this. I have my weapons on me. I can see them. I couldn't drop them on the ground. I couldn't do anything. So I put them into the external storage. Storage has changed. That's another thing we'll get into. Remind me. How long we got? So yeah, tried to get my weapons out, put them into storage, put them back on my back. And I was like, okay, it'll work now. Ran off there. Tried to take my gun out, and they all turned around and started shooting me, and I was like, oh, Jesus. So I ran off to one of them, tried to smack one. No. Apparently my character does not like battles. He is
Stop going about smacking people. It's rude.
It is. Slapping. Smooching them. I don't know.
So everything can be fixed by smacking?
Yeah. Fix it the Irish way. Boom.
That is the Irish way, to be fair. I can confirm this.
So yeah, I pretty much couldn't do anything of the mission. So I was like, maybe I can go down onto into the bunker, and maybe there'll be a weapon storage kit or a crate or a weapon that somebody left down there. At least I'd have that.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't. So I was just there standing around, running around, trying not to get shot. So I ended up coming out of the game, and since then, I've had to do uni stuff, so I couldn't get back into it. And then I was watching the show. So pretty much that's where we got to.
Okay. One last question for you, Matt, on this. I like the concept of this kind of, I don't know what you would call it, add-on, additional story content, whatever. But, I think you're maybe not going to ask here. While that's good, why would they be doing this when, I'm just going to say it, when's 1.0? When they haven't even got that out, and they're bringing out this additional content, man. Come on.
That's not a good question to ask a fan. Come on.
Let me tell you, because we have the answers.
Oh.
So,
no.
4.0 is the first part where... Yes. So, pretty much, 4.0 is the main thing they're rushing towards. That will be the final bit where there won't be any resets for anything. From 4.0 onwards.
4.0 isn't. 1.0 is when you release a game out of early access, Matt.
Yeah. So they're hoping within the year to get it out as 1.0. But it's not just 1.0. It's 1. Yeah, it is 1.0. Yeah.
Oh my bluff.
So it's not just.
I'm going to clip that one. That was good.
So it's not just going to be released, but they're going to be releasing it fully, but still updating it because everything changes. Technology, PC systems, everything changes. They're going to be keeping up with it. So with all those changes.
Holy shit. I didn't think you would say that.
There you go. I said it. Sorry, Chris Roberts.
Wow.
Please don't sue me.
Okay. Does Gray, you have this? Do you still play it?
What, Star Citizen? I haven't played it in quite a while. I try to keep up. Yeah, I do. I try to keep up on it with Matt to see what's going on. And when I start hearing things like it's gotten better with this or it's gotten better with that or there's less glitches, then I try to, enter back in. Of course.
It is very beautiful game.
Oh, there's no doubt it does.
Wow. Yeah. And they sharpened it. Quite a bit of optimizations as well. I think
the game looks gorgeous. I mean, you can get nuts about some of the things that happen, but they really have been making an effort to come, turn down the glitches as much as possible. But the game is beautiful. There's no denying that part of it. I mean, it really is.
Absolutely. So with this version that's out now at the moment, there is a persistent issue in the persistent universe, which they're trying to investigate. Which could have something to do with me not being able to get my weapons out.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's what I told my doctor anyways.
Is it a little blue pill that they just kind of put in the thing and work?
Yeah, shaped like a ship.
Yeah, exactly. Matt ate the whole packet.
Yeah, that's probably what it was then.
Flying blue pill.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Matt, always keep us up to date with that game because
I haven't finished
fun at it. Oh, he's got more. Oh, God,
I got a lot more. That's why I was like, there's a lot. So
right, strap in, lads.
Yeah, there's also VR support to make it more immersive as well. Yeah, so there you go. The pirating part of the game they've overhauled. So pretty much when you couldn't really do much except for steal what cargo is in a dead ship, but now you can acquire ships that you steal, and there's whoever gets their ship stolen, there's a dead switch on a timer. So pretty much, which is done by the insurance. They've done an insurance overhaul, and that'll be coming in.
So what does that do? What does the dead switch do?
So dead switch kills your ship. So it's a deterrent of it getting stolen. If that does happen, the pirates have a couple of things they can do. They can either scrap it there and then, or try to beam it to one of their bases they have built. And scrap it there and use those as resources. Or they can hack the deadlock or bring it to somebody who can do the deadlock hacking to remove that and then do a clone of the ship's deeds. So you can actually keep that ship as your own. Big thing.
That's actually pretty cool because I thought once the dead switch was on and you can't take the ship, it's all over, but they can do all these other things. So
so you will have support from the UEE in supported systems. So you are against the fan pretty much to try and get this ship out of the way or hidden, because if they do find you, they will get you. all try to get you. So be wary, especially jumping through gates as well, which is another thing they overhauled. Base building and crafting. So they're bringing in places where you can actually build through on planets. You've got different types of planets that you can use, ones that are a bit more friendlier, some are more on the piratey, on Outlaws style planets. You can build a base. You can have a small one, you can have a massive one, you can build it into a big town. You can also build it via the organizations as well. So if you're part of a group, then pretty much you'll be able to have people from your gang build with you. So, and to do that, you can give them permissions on what they can do from there as well.
So you can have multiple people building your base and things?
Yeah. So you can have a whole
that's kind of cool
for yourself, sort of thing. Yeah.
Like
you can
slaves or something?
No. Maybe.
They're called willing participants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So with that, you can build shops. You can build ships. You can build armor out of these fabrications that you can get with your base once you've built that.
Can I build a chippy?
Yes. There you go. Yeah. Chippies are always good.
This is beginning to sound like Rust in space.
Yeah, so depending on where you are, with some planets and some areas, you will be able to have, security from the UEA that will protect your base.
Do you have to pay for that?
Yeah, there is tax for that type of thing.
Well, then what I want to do is I want to be really rich and then have them protected with one really big ship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can do. It'll take a while.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So the bigger the place you're building, it will take quite a bit of time to build.
It's then not they one get of their those weapons out, and that'll really be cool.
Yeah. It's not one of those pop, boom, done job sort of thing. It is literally one of those. So from there, you can actually have an ecosystem, economic system. There we go, and build your own shops, including selling armor, weapons, fruit and veg, whatever you like. It's up to you.
Armor and fruit and veg in the same sentence. That I'll be damned.
Oh no! There you go. So what else is there? Yeah. So the player stats, because some I think it was you, Gray, that was saying there was some controversy with the games and layoffs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the player statistics for this year has gone up to 22.79 million, and 60,000 of them are active daily players.
Oh.
Yeah. And they have had layoffs to 100 to 150 employees from their Austin and LA offices. That's part of their restructure.
I think they have or something.
Yeah. So they still have a great big team, and what they're bringing in is huge.
They make a shit ton of money. They're one of the biggest grossing games of all time, and they're getting rid of people.
They have, yes, yeah. So another thing I want to show Gray and yourself, because I was thinking DS9 and all that stuff. So I'm going to share this again.
Don't whip out and stream again. I don't want to have to
here it is.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
So these are few shots. These are new ships that are coming out as well. So the Star
if you want to see
Lancer,
all this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, just grab our YouTube show in a couple days when it's edited. Okay,
absolutely. Bye. So you got Star Lancer Max, which looks beautiful. They're massive.
It's blue.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? That's
what is
the helicarrier from Avengers.
Pretty much.
Really, it's fat. It's on burgers or something.
It's an aircraft carrier?
No, this is the ship called the Pioneer, which was going to be an outpost builder. So this would have been your mobile base, pretty much, that you land somewhere and then you take it apart and build your town from it. But because of the building mechanics that they brought in, it had to be restructured a bit. So it has to support the new base building mechanics, keep the current metrics, have the same kind of looks, but it's massive. It's huge. It's got medical bays, crafting, refining, and extracting all built into the ship. It's huge. So I can't wait to get that one.
A lot of stuff, man.
So there you go. This is part of the one of the main stories of the MMO side of Star Citizen, where you can actually join guilds. So this United Resource Workers will put part of the haulers, the couriers, salvagers, and there's many more to go with that as well. It also opens up all these avenues pretty much for that guild, which opens up more missions, more things for you to explore and do.
Right.
There's other things there. So they're going to build more narratives. Quite a few of there's going to be NPCs doing things as well. So it's not just your thing. And you can do that in your own pace. If you do complete the main story bit, you do get quite a few good, amazing perks. So this bit shows you pretty much the systems that are going to be coming in. So right now we've got the Stanton, and they're going to be bringing in all these other 5 places that are coming in, and it'll show you all the different parts that are coming in to the game, which I can't wait.
There's a comment from Zach.
This storyline is built for yourselves, so you got something to follow, so you're not lost. You can do it alone, you can do it with others, you can do it with people. There's people that will teach you as well. On the website, they'll meet you in game and go through things.
Matt will teach you, and then if you don't learn anything, he'll leave you. No,
I'll just they call it airlock you. There you go.
Yeah,
airlock you.
Yeah. Like a proper belter. So another thing they put in the game.
Belter loader.
Yes. So you got your own space stations you can build and create.
Wow, that is cool. That is cool, man.
So I was thinking DS9.
That's definitely
you can
different.
build on it. You can customize the rooms inside. It is absolutely epic.
Star Trek's missing a trick, man, with space stations. That's how they should be building them.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely. Yeah, so you can add extra arms on these sides to add things, refineries, cargo part, hauling, ships, anything pretty much on these. It's pretty much up to you. Inside, you'll have empty rooms, or you have the way of building rooms onto areas. What those rooms are, pretty much up to you. You can customize them and furniturize them as much as you want. That's a new word. There you go.
I love that word, man. That is brilliant. I'm keeping that furniturize.
There you go.
Yeah,
Furniturize. You want Mikia.
I want to build a big space station. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I know what Sacco Boy meant. That is such a massive game.
It is huge.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's like if you're really bored and you've got nothing to play, which we all know how I feel about that. There's always something to play. But if you're really, really bored, that's a game you could start getting into and make it your main game to play for a while, along with Max.
Yeah, and on top of that, I did put extra notes on there. I don't know what's happened to them. They've disappeared. It was.
Well, you could do part 2 next time or whatever.
I could do. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, very odd.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
You come back if you find them, mate. Come back if you find them.
I will.
Well, keep us in the loop of that game anyway. I know it's a game you keep coming back to, so whenever you get more information on it, please let us know. There is one quick thing I needed to do here. I better share my screen for this one.
It's down the hall to the right.
Yeah. Don't share it. Don't share it.
Yeah. So, a moment's silence, please. You probably won't appreciate me doing this, but screw it. A moment's silence, please, guys.
Okay.
This is for Gray tomorrow.
For me? Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Oh, boy.
Happy birthday to you.
An endless loop. It just keeps going.
To dear one.
I'm a dear one.
Insert Gray. Insert Gray there. Editor, insert Gray there.
Good friends and true.
Oh, God. I should start singing this, too.
Good friends and
What? Let's hear it from the top, Gray.
No, that's okay.
go with you.
How cute. You guys have to watch the YouTube video on this one.
Yeah.
There you go,
Gray.
Hey, thanks, guys. Yes,
Somebody whistle for me.
my birthday is tomorrow, and they just put up a whole thing for me, as you heard.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? I was looking at the bottom, and it says that has 14.4 million subscribers. I'm like, what?
He does.
I'm trying to find a version that wouldn't be copyrighted, you know.
Yeah.
So, I believe, what, you're going to be like 79 or something tomorrow, Greg? Is that? No, am I
104,
wrong?
but I look really good.
You are going to be, I'm going to guess
Very nice.
67. Or
Look at
68.
look, Jansen goes, "Happy birthday, dear one," because it said "dear one."
Editor.
That was funny. Thank you very much.
I never even asked for his permission to do it because I'm always secretive about that kind of thing.
No, it was
Yeah,
better
he
that way
him under the
because
bus.
it was all a surprise. So I appreciate it, guys. Very nice. Thank you.
Just
Awesome.
last minute.
Of course, I don't have a camera, so people can't tell how old I am. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
We will insert a picture at one time. There we go.
That's right. Insert a picture of a really old guy.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll crack on. I'm conscious of the time as well. This was no a week
Hour
or two ago,
23,
but
in case you want to know.
some.
Yeah.
I put this in for game news because it comes from a game, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
touch your straws, I don't know. They were making they still are, I guess, technically, a God of War TV show, which I cannot bloody wait for. That is going to be absolutely phenomenal. It comes out. Although and I want your guys' opinion on this in a moment, they are going to start again from scratch because they don't quite have it to the standards they want it to be. I think Marvel recently, when they went back to the drawing board, frustrating, you have to wait a bit longer, but it's kind of good because you'll get something better from it in the end. Now, the showrunner is Ronald D. Moore, who is a god in the sci-fi genre.
Yeah.
He's done the Star Trek Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the more modern version of Battlestar Galactica, Outlander, just to name a few things. There's more there as well. So it's going to be in good hands with him. I don't know who the confirmed actors are for this, but I was really, I was wanting Christopher Judge to be. I mean, who cares? Just make Kratos black. I mean, does it really matter?
No,
Seriously,
no.
if the shoe fits, and the guy was so bloody good that he should be allowed to at least audition for it, and he is an actor first and foremost. So why not?
If you're going to do it, it's better to get him now because he's not old, but he's getting there. So you want to try to snag him now while you can.
Well, Kratos is getting on a bit, and I'm not even talking about his god years. Like he's not a young man, you know. So, so they did scrap the whole thing. Like scripts were scrapped. They hired a whole new writers' room and whatnot. So, listen, I ultimately want to see these things sooner, but I want them to be done properly. So, what do you boys make of scrapping things if people realise the standards are not quite there? Like think of Marvel and Daredevil, for example.
I would certainly rather them scrap something and do it right than put out garbage. There's been too much garbage lately.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's learning that you lose money that way. So now they're losing millions. They're going like, maybe we should take a little more care here. It's like, no kidding.
Definitely.
Too bad Star Trek's not doing that. That's another story.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt?
I'm definitely at the same point. You know, if it's subpar, mediocre, don't want to know. It's a waste of time, waste of money. You know, if you're going to do it correct, that'll get people coming back. That'll get your audiences in. You won't be in the old red mark for that. So yeah, put your time in. And if the actor is good and great and they go for it, you know, I think that's brilliant. I think it should be allowed.
Well, we probably won't see it anytime soon because of that. It's probably going to be 2026. Let's not beat around the bush. Just the way it is with modern TV these days, and having to do it again. So as long as it's good, you know, wherever I can put up with that, it'll be Amazon Prime TV show when it does come out. The second thing I had for gaming news, which I wasn't sure whether to bring this up or not, but I found it intriguing, so I had it into notes. A few of us in the community have been playing that game over the last couple of years called Vampire Survivors. Pretty good game. And it's come out with a bunch of DLCs over the years to make it even more enjoyable. And it's usually cheap DLC as well, to be fair. What they're bringing out, what I found this real interesting, this is a no-brainer, they're bringing out Castlevania DLC. Right. For those that don't know what Castlevania is, it's a very, very popular franchise of game. Think more kind of retro-themed platform type game. Very, very popular, famous games from back in the day, a whole franchise of these things. I've never played them, but I could sit back and still admire a game necessarily without playing it. And that was the case with this here. It's kind of got the kind of same kind of theme as vampires, ghouls, ghosts, that kind of thing, a bit dark. It made sense to actually bring the two franchises together. So in October the 31st, it's called Ode to Castlevania. Very fitting title. And it'll be out on PC, Switch, Xbox, PS5, PS4, mobile. It's $4, €4, £3. Yay! We get it slightly cheaper for once in the
cheap.
UK. So yeah, they're always cheap DLCs. To be fair,
it's going to be.
Well, yeah, just keep improving an already good product. It's a no-brainer until they bring out Vampire Survivors 2, I guess. It'll be the biggest DLC to date. Feature, and I quote, an absolutely stupidly gigantic amount of content, end quote. There'll be more than 20 new characters. There'll be 40 new weapons, including 8 whips, Matt, because I know you're into that kind of thing, my man. So
8 whips.
8 whips for you to play with, my lad.
Can you hold all 8 at the same time?
Spiky whips.
Oh, yes, you can. If you get enough hands for it, you can. The largest map Vampire Survivors has ever seen. 30 new music tracks. Because, right, whether you like this kind of stuff or not, looking at you, Gray, even though I can't see you, you don't like this old retro stuff. Some of the old school music from video games is bloody good. Like, really good content, the scores, So, I think I'll get this, man, because I've never played the Castlevania stuff, but I've played a bit of the Vampire Survivor stuff, and it's a no-brainer, really. So, I hope one or two other folk in the community get it as well, and we can compare notes. So that's Vampire Survivors.
Quick plug though, if anybody's looking for the same type of game, but the graphics are far better, it's called Soul Survivors. And that is on Steam, and I have been playing that game. And it's pretty darn good. So it's kind of a very similar type game. There's several of those kind of games that are out there. But if you want to take a look at it at Steam. But it's pretty fun.
Okay, you're maybe talking about that one, Gray, actually. So yeah, you have a couple more gaming articles from your side of things, Mr. Gray.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting because we've been playing a lot of MMO stuff, especially Once Human, which, by the way, the new scenario, as they call it, just released. And as soon as it released, it was amazing. They had something like 20 different servers or 25, and they all filled up. And then they made an announcement where they had 2 new servers, and I was able to actually register for one of them, thank goodness. So supposedly my spot is saved. So we'll probably talk a little more about that on the next podcast since it just really started. But this particular thing was interesting. Now this is in the opinion of the writer of the article, but he wanted to cover like the 10 best, not necessarily of all time, but the 10 best MMO or MMORPGs that are out there. And so I just kind of wanted to run through them because I wanted to get your opinion on whether you think this list is a good list or whether he's off base or what. Right. So I'm going to start at number 10. We'll work our way to 1. But 10 already surprised me because he said New World. That's the Amazon thing. Is it Amazon? Yeah, Amazon's thing. Yeah, it started out great and went down the tubes real fast. So I know they're releasing some kind of a new DLC, I think, for it or something, but I didn't even think it would make the list, to be honest. I know some of us tried to play it and we enjoyed it for a short while. Any comment on that one before I move on to the next?
No.
Okay.
For me.
Number 9 is Palia. I think that's how it's pronounced. Actually, Shell's played Palia a bunch, and I actually installed it, but I haven't had a chance to play it. It's supposed to be a very good chill type MMO as opposed to, having to fight enemies every 5 seconds. So there's a lot of people that are playing it. It seems to be popular. It's kind of like Animal Crossing Stardew Valley kind of thingy, I guess, if you want to do that. Number 8, and I've heard of this, and a couple of times I almost wanted to get into it, but I wasn't really sure. And it's called Black Desert Online. Any of you guys heard
I've
this
heard
one?
of it.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, yeah.
I think I tried getting online and playing it, but it didn't work so well.
Yeah, it came out in 2019, so it's actually been out for a few years.
Yeah.
It kind of looked, well, I mean, I didn't see a lot of it, but it kind of looked a little Assassin's Creed-ish, sort of, in some ways, which has kind of intrigued me. So, I don't know, I may have to check it out. Number 7 is Final Fantasy 14. That's probably a no-brainer right there.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would thought Final Fantasy would have been higher up on the list, right? You know, but according to them, they don't think so. Whatever. Number 6 is World of Warcraft Classic, not the other one, the original classic style, which actually I played years ago. So I kind of understand that one. And a lot of people do like the classic better than some of the stuff that's going on in the newer ones. So have you guys ever played that at all?
Yes.
I don't really play these kind of games, in fact, at all. So I'm so unqualified. I'm glad Matt has.
Okay, the heck with you, Matt. Did you play?
I did.
You like it?
Ages ago, I kind of did. Yeah, I think I kind of got a bit overwhelmed by the game. I was just playing it all the time at one point, and I think I had to be stopped.
You just said something interesting, which I think is part of the. I'm not going to say it's a problem, but part of the thing that's inherent in a MMO, and that is that it does take a lot. I mean, it takes a fair amount of time,
a lot of grafting,
and there's some people that only play 2 or 3 of those, and they never play any other game. I mean, at all.
Yeah.
They just stick with them, and they're perfectly happy with all that. So, so that's something, that I guess some people get turned off a little bit about that because they don't want to devote that kind of massive amount of time. Although, even though we've been putting some good hours in Once Human, it's still, we still have time to play other stuff. So it's not like Yeah,
it's not as bad as some people would be playing.
Yeah,
24/7.
You have to have a little discipline, I guess, or whatever. But number 4 is Lost Ark, which I've heard of, but I thought there was problems with that game or something. It came out in 2022. They're to say it's a solid ARPG. So, I mean, I haven't tried it, but I have heard of it.
Yeah.
Number 3, everybody's heard of this one, EVE Online.
Yeah, yes.
And that's been around for a long time, since 2003. Can you believe it's been out that long?
I do. I was on that for a bit.
Wow, that's 20 years plus.
That took time to do loads of things in that.
But in 20 years, I mean, I haven't played the newest, whatever the newest version is. But I'm wondering if it still looks really good or if it's gotten, kind of old or anything. I don't know.
I can't remember last.
I've always wanted to just find out what everybody was nuts about with this game because they have some rabid fans, and there's a lot of them. Number 2 is
this World of Wankers we're talking about?
No, this is EVE Online. That's another game.
That's a popular one. That is a popular one.
Anybody can play.
I used to know someone that was religious about that game, EVE Online. That's
Number 2 is
top-down. Sorry. No.
Have you ever played RuneScape? Heard of it? Never played it.
RuneScape,
the
heard
old
of
one
it?
or the new one?
And that's been around since 2001. So that's a long time.
Old school RuneScape, and there's more modern RuneScape, I believe.
Yeah.
And then number 1 is the standard World of Warcraft, not the classic, and they call that the definitive MMO, and they're putting that at number 1. I don't know. I guess that's
Probably
debatable with some MMO players or whatever, but it was an interesting list.
Yeah, Star Trek wasn't on there.
So Star Trek Online is going to place anywhere.
For the most part, Star Trek games are pants. They never get the same love and attention other franchises do, and it pisses me off.
I mean, on rare occasion they might, but it's just, I mean, some of the space stuff in Star Trek Online is still okay. I mean, that's the only part I liked about it. But man, there's so much of it is just so old. I mean, it looks like a 10, 20-year-old game.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
And they don't do anything. They do new stories, but they still look the same animation. So it's like
There's that guy online, Gray, that I do watch certifiably in game, and he does a lot of Star Trek content. But he uses B footage from Star Trek Online, and I think I just commented one day, I love your videos, man, but that game is absolutely god awful. Like no one commented back. I was fishing. I was looking for a bite. Like defend your game. Like if you love it so much, the space stuff's all great, but like we discussed this before, the graphics of the facial animations, the character animations, how they look on the planet stuff was god awful. If they just kept it in space, it would actually look really good. That stuff's fine.
But I'll tell you,
even overhaul it.
At this point now, even the space stuff's getting to look old because there's better stuff that you can mess with. Star Citizen being one, but there's several others, and stuff that are starting to get dated even on that side of it. But I mean, apparently, I guess it must have its players because it's still around. Anyway,
it is, yeah.
The next little thing I wanted to cover is short, but I wanted to get your opinions on it. It was interesting. Apparently, this is a actor who played parts in Assassin's Creed games, and he also was a dev on Metroidvania. And he basically came right out and said what we've kind of been saying. And he says he believes out-of-touch execs are chasing the live service dragon. Too much money is being spent on games people do not want. And I was going like, okay. And they were saying that games now are treated more as a business and not an art form any longer. So essentially what's happening is, and we've seen this too, but they're kind of just reiterating it in the article. They're saying that no one puts any effort into story anymore. Really, they just try to carbon copy stuff and make it look shiny. And then when you actually start to play with it, you end up finding out that it's not that great. Concord, for instance, lasts 14 days and it disappears. But the thing that's crazy about it is they're losing tons of money doing this, obviously, and laying off people and everything. But when you get those rare games like we've talked about before, like Black Myth Wukong and Shrouded and others, I mean, you think they kind of get the message after a while and say like, "Ooh, maybe we should."
But Gray, that they're making games that. God, I wish I didn't get me started now. They're making games that they think we want to see. They're like maybe safe bets sometimes, instead of just listening to what the people actually want. I think they should just, like, a good example of that is Ubisoft, and I don't blame them for that one. But the problem they've now got is they've only got that to rely on now. Right. And if something goes wrong with that, hence why the most recent Assassin's Creed game has been put back, because they're like, if this isn't squeaky clean and polished, we're up a certain creek without a paddle, or even life preservers. Well, they're up there without a paddle without anything. They're screwed, so they need to do it properly.
Well, from a business standpoint, Ubisoft's been messing up because they have 2 or 3 really good franchises besides Assassin's Creed. They have Division 2, they have other ones, and yet they've crapped on all of them. I mean, people have been screaming for a new Division for 5-6 years now, and they keep saying, "Yeah, well, we're going to do it finally." Like, okay, and then people have already moved off. I mean, I was an avid fan of that game. I played the heck out of it and still return to it quite often. Now I'm to the point where, like, okay, come on, guys, do something. And they keep on having what they call new seasons, and it's the same thing. You're going into the same maps. All they do is just put a little bit of lipstick on things here and there, as they say, and expect you to sit there and think it's so different.
Cheap and easy.
Do you like putting lipstick in things, Gray? Is that a thing? Is that a Floridian thing, is it?
No, it's the old saying, if you put a lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Yeah.
Tell David Cameron that one. Anyway, that's an in-house UK joke, that one.
Well, we all hope that the trend is going to continue where we're actually finding gems that are getting put out of it finally. And we've been playing some of those things. So it's maybe the AAA companies or the quadruple A's, like we always kid about.
Beat me to it, man. Beat me to it.
Yeah, we'll come around and finally do something. I mean, Starfield's another good example. I have not heard much good out of the DLC at all. The people were expecting major improvements on things that they wanted, and they got very little on the DLC. So that already proves to you that they're wildly out of touch. Which is a shame, but what are you going to do? So, but anywho, that's it for me. I think Matt's up again now.
I am.
Man, one of these games I can't believe he's played.
See it? You were supposed to talk about Delta Force.
Yeah, I can see.
Are you ready?
That was the intro to Delta Force.
Oh, there's an intro. Oh, okay.
That was it. I was been busy this week. Was it this week? It was this week. Playing demos that were out. They were out for a week. So I was like, let me try some of these out and see what they're like. Some of them are pretty morbid. Some are just shouldn't be on there at all.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then some are quite interesting and fun. Which is one of them was Delta Force. It's another first an MMO extraction game. So pretty much like your Tarkovs and all that, all wrapped into one. It's like they've seen each of these type of games and seen all the best bits and then put it into this type of thing. So with the extraction game, it was quite interesting that they talk through a lot of things. It's not just PvP. You've got PvE elements as well.
Oh, really?
Sort of thing. So there's a bit of both on these maps that you get dropped into. You loot, you take, and then you bring back, you extract with what missions you've done, what loot you
looks
have.
Good. I mean, from what it's showing.
Graphically, it's really nice. It's really nice. I did 3 or 4 games where I came out, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then I think the 4th one, I stumbled across a player and he just wiped my.
The demo that you
out of
played,
existence.
Was it PvP or did they have a PvE demo?
PvP VE, I should say. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where you got the PvE, PvP, a bit like DMZ from COD.
Mm-hmm. Did you just add 2 game modes together?
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much that's what this game is like. Pretty much, they are going to have a campaign which is going to be going through. Was it Black Hawk Down? If you remember that original game there, which was brilliant.
What a movie as well, by the way.
A fantastic movie. Oh, yeah. Brilliant! Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see that part of it. It is worth a play. If you get into a group, it's probably be a lot more fun, a lot more interesting. It's not very technical, as some games are, where you have to watch your ammo count, your magazines, take it out, have a shake and put it back in and all that jazz. It's as long as you got your ammo, you're good to go pretty much from there.
So what did you think overall was
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's playable. So yeah, I'd give it a 7. A nice 7.5. Yeah. Only because, it's brilliant. It's good. I liked it.
I mean, that's not bad. You can get over a 7. It's worth playing.
Absolutely.
Did it have a release date, or did they say anything?
They do. Let me have a look. Let you know. So, it's going to be released about 5th of December.
Oh, okay.
This year.
That's not too far.
Not bad. Not far at all.
Cool. Maybe we'll have to get into that game. And
I have no idea of the price, though. I can't see any pricing on there at the moment.
Well, we will always assume it's going to be 50, 60, 70.
I'd hope this isn't going to be that price.
If we're lucky, it's on Game Pass.
30 pounds. Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe they'll release it there. That'd be quite interesting.
What else were you playing, Matt? Because this makes sense that this was a demo, because I was like, he won't buy this and play this.
Yeah. So another one was SWAT Commander, which was SWAT Commander.
That's not on the list.
No, it isn't.
But Mario Party Jamboree is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant out. Demos. I was going to say, I've been playing loads of demos. Sorry, yeah. So, out on the 17th of this month came Mario Party Jamboree, which is always fun and exciting. Don't clip that. So it's been the biggest one so far. Yeah. Oh, there you go. On the Switch. It has 110 mini games, 7 board games on there, 5 new ones and 2 that have been returned from the old ones. 20 people can play head to head online in Carpathian mode. It's a great game. It's fantastic. I remember playing this with Kai back in the day, and he used to love it. I used to be terrible at it and always lose. But
you had fun losing, though, right?
I had fun losing, yes. Yeah. He had more fun winning. So, yeah.
So is the demo out just now then, Matt? Is that what, were you playing it with the kiddo?
No, that wasn't a demo. That's just a game that's come out that my kid wants. So there you go. And I think Bertie wants it.
You've got a Switch?
I haven't got a Switch. He has a Switch, so I have to get him the funny cards. And there we go. Crimbo sorted. Boom. There you go.
So you just get him and you can play it, no problem.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
These are fun games, to be fair, right? I've got one of the Mario Parties, maybe the last one or the one before, and they are good fun, to be fair. You play it with a bunch of people, and it's really interactive. This one got mixed reviews when I was reading it online. Some people are like, meh, some people are like, it's great. So would I get it? I don't know, but there was another Switch
mixed reviews. So. That's impossible.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I get it when the thing is, first party Mario games or Nintendo games in general don't go on sale that often. When they do, they're not. They take a third off at the most ever. It's like a little thumb for them. So. Interesting. I'm conscious of the time, guys. There's some stuff we need to kind of hold back to next week, but you know, it's better to have too much stuff there than we get a good quality 2 hours out of it. You know, we'll be able to fit in the gaming quiz. Gray, not to worry, my man. And I've held back the Xbox partner preview that was earlier this week. Was it last week? We'll talk a bit more about that next week because there's quite a few things in that. Some things are interesting that we can all discuss that. It's a bigger point on its own, boys. That's why I wanted to hold it back. But the two things I've got last on the agenda here was, so you boys were talking about Astrobot last week, right?
A little bit,
and you both sounded like complete and utter noobs. It was funny. It was hilarious, actually. Yeah. So listen, So my understanding of this, I don't have it because I'm waiting for the PS5 Pro to come. There is a new Astrobot game out, like you said.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it on that platform, see what it's like. It's contender for Game of the Year, boys. That's how good people are saying it. It's not my opinion.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
It's just a fun platformer game. Mm-hmm. What are you saying, Matt?
Yeah, I was going to say... Oh, I lost you.
Oh, okay.
Where? You lost us? We're still here?
We're still here. Don't worry, boys. Don't worry. The curse of the internet. So we'll keep talking while he fixes out his IT gremlins. But yeah, so this.
This is... I think it's these IT gremlins.
Yeah,
we're always here, mate. Don't worry. Don't worry, mate. I think Astrobot's made an appearance a couple of occasions in the past. The last time I saw him was as a mini game that was built into the PS5 Pro when it first came out. And I never completed it, but it was fun because it would use the DualSense controller for the PlayStation to its maximum. The haptic feedback inside, the pressure sensor triggers, the touchpad on the top. It would maximize all the features of this controller and the audio setup as well to make it sound and look as good as it could, feel as good as it could. And then the same guys came out and actually made a full-blown Astrobot game, which is maybe only about 15, 16 hours long, but, you know, that's good because you don't want to make a game too long for the sake of it. So they just made this really, really good, and they're bringing out more content for it over the last few weeks as well, where they're bringing out speedrun levels and stuff, a level at a time. So they are adding to it. Once I get this and play it, I'll obviously review it because I'm intrigued to try it out. And another thing that intrigues me also, because we have both played this at some point in our game existence, which is Fallout 76. And we were talking about MMOs before.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We're actually getting an MMO-style end-game raid. I think World of Warcraft. I need to stop saying that, Trevor. It's rude. World of Warcraft. I've nothing against MMO players. It's just a joke, guys.
It could be World of Winkers. I mean, you know.
I think I'll go with the former. So it's getting think World of Warcraft, think Destiny. I like the raid element on games like that. It's usually pretty good fun. And this is getting that as well. There you go. Also a very good movie. This was part of the first Fallout Day broadcast. It's like an annual thing. It's a bit like when Matt was talking about Star Citizen. It's kind of like their annual big thing like that, and they talk about all the stuff they're going to bring into the game to make it sound and look better. It'll be out as part of the December update. And I love the fact, boys, that they keep updating this. I will go back to this again at some point because I enjoyed myself in it because I could play it with my pals, where you couldn't do that in a Fallout game before.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of it in general?
I did like that aspect.
Yeah, I think at the beginning I didn't like it. I found it very limited when it came out first. You couldn't pick up half of the things that you could on a normal game, do things with it.
And the levels were like, the leveling of the characters are really odd.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think they've fixed quite a few bits of that. It's quite good. I think we tried to get together to play it before, but never really had got there at all, which is probably pointless, really. That pretty turned me off again. I played quite a bit of it. It's quite interesting, not having the VATS and all that stuff, but, parts of it was quite handy. I'm mixed on this one. Mixed on the 7.6. So,
okay, interesting. I mean, I
love my Fallout. So,
yeah, I think this was different game from the previous games, so I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I will want to at least complete it. So there is that story element. I want to be able to complete it, and I like the fact that they keep supporting it. I mean, the other things will come out with this DLC as well when it comes out in December. They are looking to bring pets into it. We've seen this in quite a few games in the past, where you bring out pets and legendary gear, more legendary gear, things like that. There isn't a hell of a lot of information actually on the actual raid element itself. All they're saying here is a mysterious underground research laboratory located in the ash heap where the Enclave once studied radioactive ultrasite. I quote. So interesting. I'll be keep my eyes out for that. It does look very World of Warcraft when I look at the screenshot. To be honest, with you, I was going to play a little video, but it's like a Star Citizen thing where it's bloody 40 minutes long, and I no one get time for patience for that.
Show a wee clip of it.
It's because it's mostly them talking about game rather than showing anything. You see, mate.
Fast forward to the bit where you see something.
You don't. That's the problem. You don't, because it's a circle jerk for like 40 minutes of it.
Back to the world
they don't have anything. They don't have anything to show off properly anyway. So no, you're just gonna have to learn. No, Matt. Okay, no. Right,
but I want it.
I know you want it. You'll get it tomorrow, big boy. So yeah, with that, we do have time for the almost world famous EGP gaming quiz brought to you by GameGramer25.
All right, here we go. 3 more questions for us and the crowd out there, in case you want to answer on the chat. First one. This is easy. Well, relatively. What is the best-selling video game of all time? Of all time, not just recently.
All time.
Best-selling game of all time.
Minecraft.
What do you say, Matt?
I was going to say like Call of Duty, that type of thing, or
that's a series rather than a game, though.
Yeah.
True.
You know.
Yeah. Well, then I will tell you.
You can copy me if you want, Matt. You can copy me if you want.
If he's right, I'll copy it.
Tetris from Jansen. That's a shout, by the way.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tetris is good. I love that one.
It'd help if you spell it correctly, though, Jansen.
Yeah. Tetris. I haven't heard of that one.
I won't get a lift tomorrow now.
Yeah.
Well, the winner is Trev with Minecraft. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. And finally, I get a bloody point when I'm shit at the thumb.
All right, we'll see if we can keep it doing well here. What band? Yeah. Yes, this is music, but it has to do with the game, so you'll understand. What band has made more sales off of its Guitar Hero album than any of its actual recorded albums? This is a good question.
Oh God! Okay,
what band
I read that wrong.
More sales off its Guitar Hero, basically the video game, right? Album than any of its actual recorded albums.
I'm going to guess, and it's probably wrong, and I don't know why I've got it in my head. I'm going to say, can we get like?
I was going to say Metallica, but that's wrong.
That was one of them, but I was actually going to say Nickelback.
Metallica
is an option as well.
Yeah. Metallica.
Guns N' Roses, Jansen says.
Okay, let's go Metallica number 1 and number 2 Nickelback.
Yeah,
number 3 Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Okay, guess what?
What?
You're all wrong.
Who is it?
It is
I'm dead.
Aerosmith.
Oh, no.
Oh, of
Yes.
course it is.
I was thinking Aerosmith, but I was like, no.
I was very surprised when I heard this. I'm going like, more than any of its actual recorded albums. You know how many albums they have out?
They have loads, and I've got them all.
And I'm sitting there going like, wow, they made more off of a video game album than they did with everything. I was like, man.
This teacher I've never played that game, so that's probably why.
We suck.
Yeah, well, it's not an easy game to play, but you can learn how to play guitar somewhat on it. So
my fingers won't move that fast.
No, mine don't either anymore.
Or that wide.
All right, next and last question. In Grand Theft Auto, the video game.
Yeah, go on.
Aerosmith Johnson, sorry.
In Grand Theft Auto, the video game, you are able to play up to 8 different characters, but what do all the characters have in common?
They're criminals.
So in Grand Theft Auto, the video game, you're able to play up to 8 different characters, but what do all the characters have in common? This is a hard
8
one.
characters?
Yeah.
They are part
In
of
the first
same
Grand Theft.
family. They're all part of the same family or extended family.
Gangs. Criminals. I'm going to stay with criminals.
Yeah? Anybody else? I didn't hear the answer. What did he say? Which, Aerosmith? That was the band, Jansen, just in case. So you guys, that's your answers, right? That's it?
I'm going to say family. They're part of the same extended family, but I'm just guessing.
Extended family.
Criminal gang.
Criminal gang. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna be a good one. Ready?
Okay.
They all have the same
hairdo.
Hold on. They all have the same color sweater.
Oh, for sake. What?
Orange.
Come on.
All the characters have all the same color sweaters. That's pretty funny. All from the same country.
The first game did, because they're all, yeah.
Well, I didn't say GTA 5. I said Grand Theft.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah.
Christ on a bike,
because I was looking through all of them going, there hasn't been 8 characters.
That's why you have to listen to the question very carefully.
Yeah.
Answers are all from the same country. I mean, it's believable.
Get half a point for that. Oh, except for the DLC.
Right.
Half a point.
Okay. I'll only get 1 point. That's fine. Whatever. Right. Okay. Anyway, that brings us to the end. Thank you very much, people. Hopefully, we'll meet up with one or two of you tomorrow, EGX. And if not, we'll be back next week for some more shenanigans. Just
more
want
fun
to
and
thank
games,
my lovely
literally.
hosts.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. And we'll take some video. We'll take some content. I might even do a little cheeky live on Twitch or YouTube. I haven't decided. Just
go
for
on.
5-10 minutes and some videos, pictures, and whatnot. Because poor Gray feels left out. But he'll be sleeping, so maybe I do it in the afternoon. I don't know.
I'll wake him up. It's all good.
Thanks.
No, let's not do that. But yeah, thank you for everyone tuning in. We'll call it quits there. We'll see you next week. See you later, guys.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one